somewhere around 2021, I was new to the agency, competing for a job here.
Mm-hmm.
And before I met my interviewers, before I met my supervisor, I was doing research on this opportunity I got to interview. And of course, I went to the web and I found the video, the tour video, and there was you, your face, introducing the extensive capabilities of this place. And it was so well done that I had that extra push to really compete. And I want to start off by thanking you for presenting Carderock in such a way that would bring me here. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of employees that have joined since then that saw you in that way too.
Well, thanks very much. Thanks for those kind words. I've gotten a lot of comments over the years since we did that. Of course, we did that because of the pandemic,
right.
And it was born out of that necessity. But it was a great thing to do. It was really exciting to be a part of, and I'm glad that it's been received as such. And I hope it does give everybody an idea of the variety of things that we do here at Carderock. I think that's the important message from that is there's a lot that we offer here and that you can do an awful lot of different things here throughout your career, just like I have. I'm celebrating, 43 plus years as a Carderock employee, starting very early in my career, being what we affectionately call a tank rat, so working in the basins and doing testing and designing test apparatus. That's kind of my training was mechanical and ocean engineering.
Right.
And so that was my education, and that's what got me here. When I was in college, and even before that, I would in high school I was pretty good at math, and
right.
So back in those days, the guidance counselors, were looking at what you're strong in and would suggest several things, and so they said, "Oh, well, you seem to be pretty good at math, so how about accounting or engineering?"
Right.
And I didn't even know what engineering was, in those days, And so I tried accounting first. And so when I was a freshman, that's what I did. I was an accounting major, and I took a couple of accounting classes my first semester. Didn't like that at all. And so I changed and went into engineering. And I thought, I'll go into electrical engineering. And then I took my first EE classes, and I was like, no, I don't think I like this. So I went into mechanical engineering and then got into ocean engineering as well. And so the college I went to had a dual degree. And so that really opened the door for me to really explore careers in the maritime industry, which was a big influence to me growing up, as my father was in the Coast Guard, and I always heard him regale about his life on the seas and that type of thing. So that's what I wanted to do. And so coming out of college, I was really hoping to be on a boat and living on a boat and doing that. So I had applied to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to be in their officer corps.
Right.
And unfortunately, they found out I was colorblind, and that took me out of that path. And so I looked to other areas, and luckily, Carderock was coming to our career fairs on campus, and so I was interviewed and very, very lucky to get a job offer from that, and that's what really kind of started my career. It was really funny because in my curriculum of mechanical and ocean engineering, when we had the career fair, people were saying, "Oh, David Taylor's coming to interview us. David Taylor's going to be here." And I was like, "Who is this David Taylor person?" And it turns out that it was the David Taylor model base.
Okay.
And that's what we were called back in the days when I first started. And I got to be a lot more familiar with what the mission was here and what we did by talking to those recruiters. And so eventually, when I became a recruiter and started going to campuses, I thought that was really important to bring that point of home and that lineage. So 43 plus years here at Carderock, doing a wide variety of things. I started off as I said, working as a tank rat, and then CAD systems became popular, so
Right.
computer-aided design. So we started doing our design. When I first worked here, my desk was a drafting table. Cool.
Cool.
And so we would draw and design, on paper with pencils and doing all that. And then CAD systems came, so I became a CAD jockey and learned how to design on a computer. So being part of that revolution or evolution, I guess, was really cool. Being on the forefront of that. And then, from there, I got into, a little bit more into design work. And then I got into project management and did that for many, many years and really enjoyed kind of leading teams and getting my hands dirty with hardware and developing, different technologies that could be brought together. And then I got into, supervisory roles.
Right.
And then I was able to take a detail down at the Office of Secretary of Defense in the Research and Engineering office there. And so, really kind of got a full view of OSD and all the different services. And then I came back and was a division head and then a deputy department head and then have just, progressed through the ranks and to what I, am currently, which is the deputy technical director. So 5+ years as being the deputy, and it's just been great. It's a great way to culminate a career of doing a lot of different things. I think it's important that you get a variety of different experiences. I've been blessed to have that experience here. I've been blessed to really experience all of the different kind of career tracks. At Carderock here, we kind of, advertise the fact that you can have 3 different career tracks. You can be that subject matter expert. You can dive down deep into a technology area and become that expert and world-class expert. We have a lot of people on staff that are internationally known for knowing that thing, whatever that thing is, whether that's a piece of physics or a signature thing or a hydrodynamic thing or a structural thing. I mean, we've got experts in those areas. And so you can really have a very fulfilling career doing, subject matter expert technical work. You can also have a career track of going into project management. If you're good at managing projects, managing all the different intricacies that are involved with developing things, managing a team, working with a sponsor, looking at the requirements and seeing how that translates into engineering, then you make a really good project managers, and we have a lot of people that obviously like that aspect of things. And then of course there's the supervisory track. Are you a good leader? Right. Do you like leading teams of people through their careers and enabling their careers, really kind of getting the best out of people? Then you make good supervisor material, and I've had the privilege of being in all 3 of those things. Right. and really doing that, and that's the great thing I think about Carderock is that it offers all of those different things, and you don't have to pick one and just be locked into that. You can choose that for a little while and do that. I think if you map my career, you'll see that I've done a variety of different things, but for periods of time. I'm the kind of person, and everybody's different, of course, but I'm the kind of person that always liked to try new challenges every, 5 years or so. So 3, 5, 7 years, somewhere in that range. And so it was really an opportunity for me to go and experience different things. Right. As I said before, I did a lot of things from hands-on design work to making systems that could demonstrate a certain capability that the Navy and Marine Corps wanted, to being in leadership and management and talking about policy and how do we make this place a better place, and really influence that. And I think that's been very fulfilling as well. So each one of those things is fulfilling in and of itself. I'm a big proponent of continuous learning, and really using the tools that we have and the opportunities we have here at Carderock to educate our workforce, to further their education, to make them the best that they can be. One of the proudest things I'm like about what I've done recently is really promoting Carderock University. So that's a new thing that we're implementing and rolling out this year, where it's a one-stop shop for our employees to really understand what's available from an educational point of view, from an experience point of view. And so I think that's going to be a great addition to the Carderock family here.
It's noticeable in the architecture how it's sort of laid out, and navigable. It's driving people towards options that make sense.
And that's what the folks in workforce development who are leading that charge have really strived is how can we make this accessible to folks? How can people looking at this find what they need to look for? Is it easily organized? Is it easily navigated? So that it reminds me back. The analogy I gave them was hey, think of that student going on campus for the first time. What is that experience going to be for that person on campus? Is the brochure going to have the information they want that that can help them make a decision? And so are they going to be able to pick their curriculum, do whatever? So that's what I always thought about. So
yeah. I can tell that Carderock is one of those places where when it's said that there are opportunities available, they mean it. I think they're coming from different agencies. Sometimes the pace is fast, and though there are opportunities, it doesn't always feel like you have the time to go in that route or to even engage. And I think here, not only are the opportunities available, but through discussions with your supervisors, you'll have the time to proceed with that.
I think that's a great point. I think the most important relationship our folks can have is with their supervisor. Right? If you can establish a rapport, if you can establish a cadence with your supervisor, I think that just is such a beneficial thing. Just explaining to them, what your desires are. Where do you see yourself 3 years from now, 5 years from now? Because that's their job, is to help you, right? Be the best that you can be, and to help you in your career. A lot of studies show that the number one reason somebody leaves an organization is because of their supervisor.
Right.
And I just, what I always tell our supervisors is, it's your job to keep people. If our attrition is too high, it's your fault. No, I don't say that. But, so it's really important to have that relationship, with your supervisor, because they can really help you through your career and help you get answers. And I've been really fortunate in my career to have some great bosses. I mean, that's one of the things that I really cherish the most is that I've had great bosses. They've taught me how to do things. Some of them have taught me how not to do things, and so that's important too. To learn what not to do.
Right, indeed.
Over those 43 years, how you progress through a career has kind of changed a little bit. It's evolved and it's different. Back in the day, if you just kind of put your head down and you did your work really well and you just were diligent about that and you developed a good work ethic, the opportunities were kind of coming at you. People would say, hey, I think I need some help over here. Would you like to try that out? I tell people, over those 43 years, I have had a lot of different jobs, but I'd never interviewed for any of them. I mean, the first interview I ever did was like 37 years into my career.
Wow.
I mean, everything else was just, hey, Steve,
right.
I see that, doing good there. Hey, we need some help over here. Would that be something? And that was luckily, very luckily, it was at a point where I was like, I'm kind of ready for that next challenge. I want to see how the skills I've developed are translatable, and so I think that's an important point is a lot of people are impatient, they just want to kind of move to the next and they try to over-engineer their career a little bit.
Right.
And I think the bottom line is, hey, if you're given a job today, really learn that job, learn how to do that job, learn how to manage up, learn how to manage down, and really understand what the expectations of that job are, and then execute it and do it and do it really well to the best of your ability, and the opportunities will happen, and so I've been really blessed to have that.
Yeah, I noticed that we don't. It may not be, hey, I noticed you're doing a good job. Here's an opportunity. But here at Carderock these days, you see a lot of details. You see a lot of mentorship opportunities, a lot of opportunities to go team up with another group and cross-train.
Right.
And those are more announcements sometimes. Is that kind of the new way of seeing that?
Right. I think the seesaw.
Right.
Back in the day, we were much more of a R&D laboratory. A true research and development,
Right.
science and technology. We had a lot more what we used to call block funding. So
Okay.
I would fund you to sit in the lab and evolve this theory a little bit more.
Right.
And today the sponsors are a little bit different. The organizations, the needs of those organizations are much different. And so we have a lot less of that and a lot more of, sponsors looking to us to be the one-stop shop. So they want us to, manage programs, help transition technologies, get it into acquisition programs, help them, acquire that thing. So we have to use kind of a multidisciplinary approach to everything we do, which means we do a lot of teaming.
Yeah.
We do a lot of collaborating. We have to, network. We have to use our network. We have to, really kind of go outside the fence line, so to say,
Yeah.
and work with others to do that, because it takes a team now to really solve some of these complex problems.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely the evolution that I've seen. And with that comes a lot of opportunities. And so, there are things that cross our desks every day, people looking for this, people looking for that, and this skill set, that skill set. And so I think there's a lot of opportunities out there for our folks. They just have to be receptive to that. And I think that's the key, right?
Yeah.
If you can be open to those things, if you can, kind of take some of those biases away and just be receptive to that, I think they will come your way. So,
Right. Could you build on what you were talking about a little earlier about being able to communicate with your supervisor, ask for, could you kind of give us a little bit more detail? How did you make yourself receptive? For the people that are a little are introverted maybe, who might be concerned that they're going to be perceived as being burned out if they ask for an opportunity or some negative light in any way.
Right.
To just foster that culture of, hey, if you want it, ask for it.
Yeah. So, I'll start off by saying, no one knows what you want unless you tell them. I mean,
Right.
it can be as simple as that,
Right.
Which is, just so true. So communication, and that's a life skill, right? I mean, not everyone can do that. Not everyone has that. And so when I say, you need to develop a rapport with your supervisor as an employee or even supervisor, sometimes you got to pull that,
Right.
So it's a push-pull kind of thing. And everybody's different. And that's the key. I mean, as a supervisor, each one of your employees is different and unique in their way. And that's the hard thing to juggle. I mean, as a supervisor, I want everybody to be, the same so that I can just be the same and I don't have to pivot and I don't have to overthink things and I don't have to, always be on, for everybody. And, the simple fact is that everybody is different and you have to be able to adapt your style and your leadership style to that. And you have to find out what motivates them.
Right.
And as an employee, your job is to answer the question, what motivates me?
Right.
What are you looking for? What do you want to do? What jazzes you up every morning, or what makes you, eager to come here and do the job you want, that we need you to do.
Yeah.
And if we can understand that within that employee supervisor relationship, I think that's, just 90% of the battle, because then you're going to establish that rapport. Then you're going to know each other. Then you're going to be able to sit in that person's seat and take their point of view, So I look back on one of my very good mentors, Dan Dozier, and one of his things is seek to understand. And so try to really understand the other person and understand what they're looking for in a career, what's motivating them, and what excites them. And so I think that's an important aspect of things. Yeah.
Interesting. Are there any other sort of recent things you've been working on that have demonstrated sort of what you leave behind or what you're?
Yeah. I mean, I've been blessed to have a lot of really great experiences and memories, and of course, as I have been approaching retirement, I've been doing a lot of reminiscing about those, and so I think I talked a little bit before about being on the forefront of the computer-aided design revolution, right? So that was really exciting, to be on the ground floor of something and be one of the first people in the Navy to learn that skill set and to be part of that cadre of folks. So that was kind of a great moment. When I worked in the Marine Corps Programs Office, I had the ability to really manage a very important program. The Marine Corps was looking for a replacement of their slow water swimming amphibious vehicle, the amphibious assault vehicle, the AAV, and they wanted it to go faster in the water. And so our office was responsible for, okay, how do we make this heavy brick fly through the water and go fast? And I had the privilege of being the project manager for that demonstration platform. So we had to look at all the different technologies. How do we integrate that together into one system, and then demonstrate that? So that was bringing together and really understanding the technology, how it all fits together, working with a contractor who's doing the design for us, then working with the contractor who was doing the fabrication for us, and then working with the fleet who was doing the testing for us. And so it exposed you to all of those different stakeholders. And so that was a real pivotal part of my career. I really, really enjoyed doing that and seeing that come to fruition and being able to demonstrate that to Navy leadership. I mean, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, watched our demonstration. And so it was really something for an engineer to do and be recognized to do that. One of my favorite jobs here at Carderock was running the Center for Innovation in Ship Design. So the CISD is here at Carderock, and it's really charged with really developing that next generation of ship designers. And so it was a way for me to get into recruiting. So I started working a lot with universities and students and teachers and faculty. It was a way where I really started mentoring, right? Because these were folks in entry-level positions who right out of college, and really establishing that supervisory employee relationship that we were talking about, trying to really understand them, understand what they liked and disliked, what they wanted to see out of their career, what their backgrounds were, and really helping them get the experiences they needed in order to be the folks that the Navy needed them to be, which was very experienced ship designers that could take complex problems, do it authoritatively, and give them that responsibility. And so that was really a great job. We were fortunate, and I was fortunate enough to be involved in hiring dozens and dozens of entry-level folks, and it's just been one of the proudest moments is to see them now 10, 15 years later, in just great positions here at the Navy, really doing great things and being leaders themselves. I do not take full credit for that, but I like to say that I hopefully had a little piece of that. But that's been great to do that.
What was it, 2 years ago when they had their anniversary?
Yeah, 2 years ago was their 20th anniversary. and it was great. You guys did a great job getting video of a lot of the folks that I had the privilege of meeting and seeing grow.
Yeah.
And so that was great to celebrate the 20-year anniversary of CISD. And it's going strong, and it's got a great future, and we need it even more now than we did back then. And so I know it's under good hands right now, and doing a great job.
Yeah, when we did those interviews, without prompt, the passion that would come from them about their work, they sound a lot like you.
Yeah.
So you definitely made an impact.
Well, good. I hope I was a positive influence.
Yeah.
And then, of course, culminating my career as the deputy technical director and working for Mr. Carderock has been just the highlight of my career. I mean, it's just, and the thing that I really like about this position is that I can help people. I mean, getting back to what motivates you, right? What motivates you? The things that motivate me are, I like the personal relationships. It's all about the people.
Right.
And I'm a very people person, or at least I like to think I'm a people person, and I like to see them, grow and develop. But understanding what motivates them, and what motivates me is helping people.
Right.
Watching them, be the best that they can be and in their careers. And so, that's what I can do from that position.
Right.
I can help people with their jobs. I can help people if they're, maybe looking for some changes and, showing them opportunities. I continue to mentor many, many different people and help them and answer any questions that they might have. And I'm hoping that we're making this a better place, to operate and to work in.
Right. So, with that being said, what's next for you?
So, hey, great question. I'd love to, still stay involved in some of the things that I really like to do, which is, again, being part of recruiting team, being part of the summer interns, providing mentorship, to those folks, being involved in STEM in general, STEM education. We have a great STEM team, and I just think that they do really, really good work, and I'd love to, help them out in whatever capacity that I can. And then I just love promoting this place, and being a representative and spokesperson for that. And so I've had the privilege for many years now to have enough knowledge of this place to be dangerous, and to at least explain to people what we do, and try to tailor that narrative to that audience. And if it's folks that are representing our allied countries, as we've done many, many times here, then I want to tell them why we're a world-class organization, what we do here, and how important it is for us and our partners as we develop great systems for the Navy.
Right. I think that is a theme of you, is the ability to jump and move every 3 to 5 years with the genuine interest in the next thing, culminating in the ability to be dangerous, but connect people to this place.
Yeah. Well, and what I tell people is, your greatest asset is your network.
Yeah.
Start on day one, establishing your network. I think it's important to have mentors. I think it's important to have a variety of mentors. I think it's important to have senior mentors who can give you career advice and help you along. I think it's important to have peer mentors, that you can share your experience with, that you can, discuss this and that, with, and your day-to-day travails, and I had this opportunity over here, or I did a rotation over there. You might want to think about that. These are things that you can talk to coworkers and peers about, and do that. And then, finally, it's, I encourage people to give back. right? And so, you be that person to somebody else now coming in, so, be a mentor to an intern, get a summer intern and, really, work with them to have them understand what you do, what the center does, what your organization can do, how they can fit into that organization. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, then I look forward to continuing to work with you then.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so do I. And so do I.